Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Hey, welcome to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host and business guide, Michael Rager. I'm telling you, I'm really excited about today's show. We've got a lot of things that we're going to talk about, especially about expectations. You know, as a business owner, we set expectations on ourselves, we set it on our employees, we set it on our customers, and those are the things that we need to really manage those, and we need to understand exactly how those things are going to affect our business, not just in the short term, but in the long term. You know, as a business owner, we have to understand what we expect from our employees. All right, but the things we've got to do that is we've got to give them really good direction. We got to have them understand exactly what they're supposed to be doing, why they're supposed to be doing it, how they're supposed to be doing it, and how it affects our customer. And it's really funny is I get a lot of business owners come back to me and goes, Mike, why do I need to worry about that? Well, you need to worry about that because you want to get them to buy in. You're going to have a vision and a mission for the company. You want people to buy in, to follow you. It's all about leadership. When you start looking at running your business, it's all about leadership. I tell a lot of other leadership coaches out there, they struggle getting clients because they try to sell leadership. And you just can't do it. What you need to do is you need to sell solving a problem. So as a business owner, you got to go in and solve a problem for your number one customer. Then you can go in and really get into the root cause. And a lot of times when businesses are struggling, they may not be having enough revenue. They may be having too much turnover. They may have, just things that are going on. It usually comes back to leadership. And leadership, one of my mentors, John Maxwell, used to say was leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And those are what we need to look at. We just need to become more influential as a business owner. And the way we become influential is understanding what's there and setting the right expectations for our business. So this is Michael Rager, your business guide. We're going to be back. We're going to have a great session today. So stay tuned for some more Biz Talk TV here on Now Media Television.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Hello, my name is Charles Sanders, and I'm a personal injury attorney with the Rose Sanders Law Firm, based in Texas and with offices in Houston, Dallas, McAllen, and El Paso. We assist individuals throughout the entire state who have suffered harm due to the negligence of another person. With my experience as an insurance adjuster, I understand and I know exactly how to counter the strategies employed by insurance companies, and I'm bringing this knowledge to you. We handle a wide variety of situations, ranging from car accidents to defamation and unsafe property conditions. We are here to provide support and legal representation at no cost to you. Call us today at 713-221-3773.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist, and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host and business guide, Michael Rager. It's that time again. We've got my good friend, Catryn Becker. Catryn, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Michael. Glad to be here.
Well, man, go ahead. So what I want to do is, we started in our last session, we started talking, about expectations from employers to employees. Let's talk a little bit about expectations from employees to employers. What should employees be expecting from the employers when they hire them?
Well, it's a great conversation to have because since the pandemic, so much has changed from what the employee seems to feel entitled to receive that we don't necessarily as business owners expect anymore. So there's a bit of the tide turning as to what is a reasonable set of expectations. And it's something that should be set right off the bat. So we talked a lot about how the employer is communicating this information, but we have to make sure that as an employee, we have reasonable expectations for what we should be getting. But there should be certain things, like there should be what's the vision? Like, do you understand what it is that you are there to accomplish? How are you part of the bigger puzzle? Like, how does what you do fit into the greater whole of what is trying to be accomplished? And what are some short measurable wins that you can get in, especially if we're looking at a new employee, like in their first 90 days? We talked a lot about that kind of first crucial 90 days is really important, of kind of getting your feet under you, figuring out where you are within the ecosystem of the company and where the company fits in. So there's a lot of things that you want to make sure that you are keeping track of there. But having those kind of crucial conversations during the interview to make sure it's a good fit is a great place to start.
Yeah, I like what you said about the first 90 days. When I used to coach my clients about bringing new, especially managers on, we're bringing new managers, leaders into the organization. I wanted this new manager to assimilate for 90 days and understand how we've done things to date. Then we wanted to take that assimilation and say, okay, now help me make it better. Because what happens is, what I saw a lot in corporate America is people would just come by and just change it. Hey, I'm the new manager. I'm going to change things today. And
right.
that can really throw curveballs at the people that are there. How do we prevent that from happening? And how do we help, make slight culture shifts as we bring new, leaders into the organization?
Well, it's a great question. I mean, you really have to think about why the person is being brought on. Like, did the person who was vacating that position, did they leave because they had another opportunity? Are they retiring? Like, what was the reason that they left? Was it poor performance? So the person coming in really has to understand that. And it's difficult from a employee's perspective that's been there. And this is the case with any sort of new change at a company. Like, what is the accountability that happens after some sort of change, whether it's bringing in new management, whether it's a new program, whether it's a new software, new technology, whatever that new thing is, because there's usually a lot of resistance to it because people over time have learned, like, okay, yes, we may go into this new thing that the company's all excited about right now, but what's its longevity? Does it have legs? Is this going to be something we're still talking about in a year from now? And so from the employee's perspective, sometimes they can be really hesitant to change and not be championing that because they are afraid of what it's going to look like in the future based on past experiences. So for the new person coming in, making all broad swath of changes, they need to consider how that's going to affect the employee as well, and what sort of way that's going to affect people's perspective of them on what they're doing.
I used to have a boss that he used to, every 90 days, he used to go to conferences, right? And he would get this newfangled something cool that he needed to put in. And he would go institute it, and in 90 days, we were just, as the team, we were just starting to figure it out. But then he would go to another new conference and come back and then get rid of everything we've been doing for the last 90 days. We haven't had a chance to get good at it and bring something else in and start it all over again. All he did was confuse us. And,
Yes.
it was awful. So when you're coaching and you're coaching, leaders like you do, how do you, look at something like that and say, hey, you've got to give time for some of these new things to go in, so our people actually understand what's supposed to be happening and learn how to execute, right?
And that's part of setting the expectations and setting the goals to go with those expectations. It always comes back to vision and what the vision of what you're trying to accomplish. What's the why of why we're doing all of what we're doing, and having that and then working backwards from there and saying, okay, this is where you want to go. We need to know where our destination is. And then we need to be really clear on where we are right now, because we can't plot a course to our future destination if we don't understand where we are. And so there's either two things that happen. Either the person doesn't understand or have a clear vision of where they're going, or they have miscommunication or misunderstanding of where they actually are. Maybe they think they're in a better position than they actually are, or they've never taken the time to really assess and get a good baseline of what's working now, what's not working, like who are the A players, who are the B players, who could become an A player, who is the C player that maybe needs to go. So taking kind of the assessment of baseline, almost a culture audit of where are we right now, having that piece, then having the piece of where we're looking to go from the future, then you can really plot the course in between and see where you're going to go. So the people that are always taking the new hotness of like, oh, this is the new shiny thing and going to the next thing, haven't done both of those steps in order to move forward. One of that is missing somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I totally agree. But you look at somebody like Jack Welch at GE, he used to cut 10% of his staff annually. Just get rid of them. He'd go through and say, hey, man, these are the top 10 low performers. We're going to get rid of them. And, I think, reading some books about GE and how it was run, it really ran a competitive type of, organization and made people really compete to get there. The one thing I think that's missing on what we just talked about was a scorecard. How do we keep score as to we're moving? We talk about gamification, we talk all these other things when we talk to our clients. How do you help your clients keep score so they know that these things that they're putting in place are actually working?
They need to have some sort of metrics. Mm-hmm. So when I'm working with clients that are more on the left brain side, this is usually the easy part. They're already very good with numbers and data, and they have what their metrics are. Right. Working with people who are more on the right brain spectrum, where it's just, let's go figure it out, that's a tougher sell. They need to make sure they have these numbers, that there's some sort of way to quantify what it is that they're doing so that they can see those numbers. But that's really what tells the story. When people can see those numbers, yes, they may have certain feelings that come through it, but actually seeing some sort of quantifiable way of showing progress is really important, because then you can know what actions I'm taking that are moving the needle that weren't moving it before. So going through and saying, okay, what are all the different things that we can track, and figuring out from there what's the most important thing. For a certain company, is it just about revenue? Is that the thing that's most motivating? And then going backwards from there, okay, what are the things that are feeding this metric? How can we move these levers? So it really takes some time to dive down and talk about those things in order to know what's going to make the most difference.
Yeah, one of the things I like to do is go back to the team and say, hey, how do you think we should keep score? How are you guys going to look at it, and what do you think as a team? Because we look at it, I think it was Stephen Covey's 11 Pillars of Execution. He gives a great analogy. He said, hey, we're going to be walking through the park, Catryn, and here's what we're going to go. And tell me what's going on here. There's kids that are they're at the basketball hoop, and they're just kind of shooting and kind of goofing around and stuff like this. So my question is, are they playing and keeping score?
Mm.
And they're not. They're just goofing around playing. But now if you see the kids sitting there playing defense and they're guarding and they're doing this, you can tell they're playing for real and they can score. And he said, once you put, Covey said, once you go ahead and you put and start keeping score, your team will start playing for real versus to just, goofing around and taking it easy. Because do we occasionally see just, team members just taking it easy and sliding?
Absolutely. And what gets measured is what gets done. You see this in all the time. It's where, intention flows, energy goes. There's so many different sayings that are there. And I think it also goes back to something everyone can relate to. When there's a cop around, when you're driving on the road, everyone knows how to use their turn signal. Everyone knows how to drive the speed limit. Like all of a sudden, everything's behaviors change. So it's not that they didn't know what the speed limit was, before they saw the highway patrol on the side of the road. But now it all of a sudden changes. And the same thing goes for what are those levers and what sort of attention are we giving to them? Because once that sort of attention is there, people will pay attention more and really work towards it. You see the same thing when it's like free events or free something. People don't give it nearly as much attention as they do when they've had some sort of payment, some sort of skin in the game, as they say. So by having a scorecard, by having a place where people can see where they are, where they stack up, it really changes kind of the internal energy of how people interact and want to show up, because nobody wants to be last.
Yeah.
They might not care about the metric, but nobody wants to be last.
Well, I saw it with my son this last weekend. He went and played in his first kind of golf event, and he was a little bit lax, and he was doing well, and he got anxiety, and he finished last. He did. And I asked him afterwards, how did he felt? He's like, I felt awful. And I go, so we're going to do this again next year. And he goes, what's going to do? He goes, Dad, I'm going to give it a lot more attention. I'm going to work harder. So, it's there. You're right. Nobody wants to finish last. So, Kat, we got a minute left in this segment. Can you tell people how to get a hold of you?
Our time together always goes so fast. I enjoy it so much. The best way to get a hold of me is to go to the website optimizeme.com, where we work on getting you from a me culture to a we culture. Because as we just discussed, when all of us are working together in harmony, that's when we succeed. It's together, not alone.
Well, that's great. What's the, do you set up with a phone call? Is it an initial phone call? How do they do things with you first?
There is a contact page on the website, and we will set up a meeting and kind of figure out what's going right with your organization, what's going wrong, where do you need to go, and then come up with a path, a roadmap to get there together.
All right. Well, that's good. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about some culture stuff. So, we get special. We get 2 segments with Kat today. So I think it's going to be awesome. So I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on Biz Talk TV on the Now Media Television Networks. We're going to be back right after this.
Working through the legal system is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
The tax and bookkeeping team is key to any successful business. At Gunderson's Bookkeeping, our passion is to help small business owners grow, be profitable, and to prosper. We specialize in supporting small to mid-sized business owners who want to hire a full-time or even a part-time bookkeeper, but just do not have the funds. In addition, we free business owners from the tedious tasks of bookkeeping and help them focus on their business operations, their growth, and profitability. Gunderson's Bookkeeping is your business solutions partner, offering a broad range of services to meet the needs of our clients. A profitable business needs accurate and reliable books, so take a strong step and call us today for your personal, no-risk consultation.
Oye, Lily dice que AT&T le da todas las mejores ofertas.
Minus the air quotes.
Las mejores ofertas.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Te lo dije, aquí las mejores ofertas son para todos con una variedad de planes.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
En AT&T les damos a todos nuestras mejores ofertas en cada smartphone.
Did you know that the energy or vibration of your interior introduces you before you or anyone enters the room? So how do you want to feel or have your guests feel in your space? Hi, I'm Kat with Tada by Kat, Living by Design, award-winning, triple color certified author, speaker, educator, a mother, a glamma, and fur baby mama, and I have been honored to help builders, homeowners, realtors, entrepreneurs, and other creative geniuses while being featured on House, HGTV, and more, and I'm ready to help you come up with a strategic plan that begins with determining a color palette, a design style, space planning, personalization, budget, and the application of what I call Tada magical transformations. Every space, every style, every budget, whether a refresh, redesign, on-site or virtual, new construction, renovations, or just a decorator by your side, we've got you covered. Call today for a complimentary discovery call so you can be on the road from ordinary to extraordinary and living by design. Be prepared to be ta-da. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host and business guide, Michael Rager. Hey, we're ready. We're going to go a little bit deeper with Kat. We were talking to her before about, you know what's going on with employees and what they should expect from employers. So, Kat, let's talk a little bit about culture. So, we've been talking about expectations. So, expectations in an organization, that's really important. And it's really important because we hope that a business has a vision and mission statement and being able to execute that. How does setting those expectations help us move along the pathway to actually, achieving our vision and mission as a company?
It's funny because every company is told that they're supposed to have, vision, mission statement, values, all of that kind of stuff. And then they probably write it down and never look at it again or look at it very rarely. And you think, why do I even need this? This isn't really important. But it's got so much more importance than we actually give it credit for. Because when I'm working with different clients, especially when they're feeling very stuck, that's a lot of times when people have come to me, they don't have a clear vision of where they're going. Or if they even have written a mission statement, they don't actually go back to it. It was just kind of some buzzwords that were put together to sound nice, just to say, hey, check the box, this is done. But they didn't realize the importance of how it was setting them up for success and where they're going. We've talked a lot about golf recently and kind of analogy of golf that I love is, especially as I started to learn to play golf last year, that when you hit the ball, you got to drive, just changing how I hold the club by just the smallest difference makes the biggest impact for where the ball lands. And so I think we can often overlook the small, minute changes that can be made along the way to realize what a big impact it's going to have down the road, down the line. And so having that mission and vision statement set up and being able to massage it and adjust it and evolve with it on how things change and how things grow to be what it needs to be and where it's going is really something that shouldn't be overlooked.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think when most companies, there's two things where I think they screw around with. I think vision and mission is one, and then the second one are personality testing. I think they waste a lot of money on it because they go and do it just to do it, just like you said, to check the boxes. And they do it, they move ahead. And I think you're totally right, is one of the things I do with my clients is we sit down and we got to figure out where they are and where they're going. And to keep on the golf analogies, there's I think the book is way better than the movie, but the movie's pretty good. It's called 7 Days in Utopia. And part of that is drawing your shot. And it talks about how you actually get a bad lie. And the guy who's coaching this guy that's having a mental breakdown has him, paint the whole scene and then paint the arrow of where his ball's going to go, and then go hit the shot. and do that. But I think one of the things that coaches do is go into 10-year vision, 15-year vision. I think that's just way too far. I think that's fantasy, and it goes out there for you can't see it. I don't go farther than 3 years with my clients. I say, let's look at 3 years, and this is where we want to go, and maybe look at a 5-year exit strategy. And I'm always looking at a 5-year exit strategy. How far do you look ahead, and why do you go there?
I think you're spot on with 5-10 years sometimes being way too far out. And it depends where the company is or where the person is on their journey and how established they are and how far out to go. I think it's important to have at least 1 year look, like where do you want to be in a year, because then you can really backtrack it into and, reverse engineer what the numbers are, what the actions are, what the steps are that they need to be doing. So I always love to have them have a goal, and I teach goal setting in a couple of different ways. Even though personality, you were just mentioning that people do it to check the box, but if you take it a step further and you really understand how your people think, there are different ways you can goal set that are really going to align with them. And one of the ones I use is a priority setting. So it's not necessarily time bound the same way, but you're setting what is your biggest priority to be getting done right now as terms of like a broader goal. And then you set the action steps down from there. A lot of times people conflate a goal and goal setting with actions. They're two separate things. The goal is more of the kind of the vision, the dream, the more idea, conceptual piece, and then the actions are the actual steps that you take. And so you need to have both of them. And when you can do it in a priority setting of what's the biggest thing that you want to get done this year, then you can go back and really step it back from there. But I try to stay into the 6 to 1 year mark, because it's overwhelming for most people. So I like to have short-term goals, 0 to 3 months, medium-term goals to 6 months, and then long-term goals to 1 year, and allow it to flow and to give people permission to adjust those goals and those priorities as things change and evolve. Like no one saw the pandemic coming. Like there's so many things that you'll never see coming. You never know what the market's going to be doing, how things are going to be turning. So to have it in a tighter time frame, you have much more control over what's going to happen, but you still have the long-term vision that you're going for. So it's having all of it.
Well, I do the same thing, very similar. I look at the 90-day goals and then the tasks. I look at tasks or things that need to be done in 7 to 14 days. So that can keep compounding on to hit to that 90-day goal. I saw, I took over a client last year, and they were using one of the bigger consulting firms. These guys bring in and charge, $6,000, $7,000 a day to go in, and they were doing goal setting, and they had no tasks. And the guys were wondering why they weren't achieving any of their goals, because you can't achieve goals unless you set the tasks.
Exactly. Exactly.
The goal is just this thing that's out there, and it means absolutely nothing if I don't know what I have to do to achieve it.
Well, it comes back to assumptions. Yeah. There's so often that we're making assumptions of the other person that we miss that step in communication for a whole variety of reasons. Mm-hmm. But when we don't actually verbally or communicate it in some way, and we just make these assumptions. I mean, we all know the saying of what happens when you assume, right? Yeah. But yet we all still do it.
Well, yeah, and we see it all the time. I believe too many employers look at, they hire somebody and they're going to go, I just assume that you're going to solve my problem, without having them exactly walk through and understand what the problem is. Even us as coaches, it's hard for us to go in and evaluate. I've got a doctor that's looking at me. He goes, "Hey, Mike, just let me know what your rates are so I can figure out what we're going to do it." And I said, "Doc, I haven't even diagnosed you yet. Just like you, I don't even know what we're going to do." Right. I can tell you what, it's not going to be cheap, but hey, we're gonna go solve it. And I got a client right now they're losing $200,000 a month. They're not a client yet. They're losing $200,000 a month. They're still thinking. They've been thinking for 6 weeks on whether they want to bring me in. I go, "You lost $300,000. Right. We could have put the Band-Aid on. At least we could have stopped the bleeding by now." And move that. So how do you push people through? I mean, I'm kind of really blunt, and I'm kind of Gary Vee-ish, stuff I can't say on this show. But, it's like, In person, I'm a lot more blunt.
Well, I do a lot in the subconscious. So a lot of the reasons why people don't do something is because of some limiting belief, some, self-sabotaging pattern that they've created. Sometimes it's things that they have taken on from their parents. There's a lot of generational patterns that get passed down that it's like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I feel some sort of way compelled to. So a lot of it is sometimes looking at the personal aspects, and sometimes we have to get a little bit personal to get to that information, but it's affecting them in their personal life and in their business life. So we can't necessarily separate the two. And it's in cases where there's really some sort of obstacle that they can't get over, something that they can't stop thinking about, that they've just got this loop in the back of their brain. And so I go in and kind of,
Yeah. Well, I see it. I know my clients, when they're going to stay clients for a long time, whether they do one of two things. They cry, or they tell me to F off. And because I pushed them so far. I brought on a new client last week, and she cried during our session, and she's like, oh my God, that's a sign of weakness. And I'm like, no, it's not. You just got emotions going. That's all that's going on. And we planned, and she's got a retail store. She did her best day ever after the first week. She made like $1,500 more than she had ever made in one day before. And we just went and tweaked some things, and that was it. And then she was really crying, so it was, it was good. So how do you know your clients are hooked?
So I'll get a lot like, is this magic? Are you a mind reader? Because I can pick up on a lot of clues and things that other people miss and connect dots that other people don't see. So that's when I know that there's kind of like an awe moment of like, how on earth did she do this? What else can she do? So that's usually a kind of a clue for me that like, okay, they're going to be with me for a while.
Yeah, that's a really good feeling, isn't it? When they come around and they're there and they trust you. I know in one of the groups I'm in, somebody's like, I got this client, and they come in and they don't run the session the way I want to run it. They just want to go ahead and talk about things that, are not about hitting their goals and doing this. And I'm like, why is that a bad thing? This person trusts you to talk to you about things that are kind of really deep, that they've got nobody else to go talk to, and they're paying you $500 an hour. I said, why are you so mad that they don't want to follow your platform? I'm like, are you bringing them success?
It's a good point. And sometimes some people just want to be heard.
Yeah.
There's so much noise in our society that we've become deaf to everything.
Yeah.
And so just having someone feel heard is so important. And that goes to all sorts of different relationships. Not just the business relationships, but in all of them is feeling heard and feeling understood, and not necessarily just immediately running to fix it, but just being able to kind of get it off of our mental plate and be like, okay, now I can think clearly. Now let's come up with some action steps.
Exactly. That's what I told that fellow coach. All right, Kat, you're going to be amazed. Our time's up again. How do people get a hold of you?
They should reach out to me on my website, or they can email me at kat@optimizewe.com, and we can have a conversation to figure out, the diagnostic piece. What do they need? How can we work together? And where do they want to go? And let's come up with a roadmap together.
All right. Well, that's awesome. I encourage you to do it. Or you guys got to come out and see Whiteboards and Whiskey with me. We had a good time last night. We had some really good whiskey last night. We had a small crowd, but it was awesome. So, Kat, we're going to see you next week. You have a good one. I'm Michael Razor, your business guide here on Now Media Television. We'll be back with more Biz Talk TV right after this.
Tell me, are you looking to sell a house or buy a home? Hi, I'm Michelle Briggs, and your real estate needs are my priority. With over 2 decades worth of experience within the real estate industry, I know I can help. Whether you're selling a house and moving on to the next chapter, or buying a home to create generational wealth for your family, I am the realtor for you. Call me now at 713-256-5465 and let me handle all of your real estate needs.
Working through the legal system is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Stop and think. How often do you take the time to set goals? And when you set those goals, how often do you hit them? The problem is the word goal setting. We all have goals, but goals are just wishes. Goals are what we want. What we really need is called result setting. My name is Catryn Becker, and what I do is create tailor-made result plans that ensure people will hit their targets. If you are committed for real results, let's chat and see which program is right for you and your team. Goals are just what we want, but together, results are what we will achieve.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV here on the Now Media television networks. As you see, we got Aiofe. Aife's back. Aiofe Roche, how are you today?
I'm super good. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about marketing, profits, and actually growing your business. You know, as a business coach, I got all my competition here. You know, in Houston, I'm telling you, all these coaches are pushing marketing to grow your business. And I think marketing is a very important part of growing your business. But you actually have to understand how your business runs and making sure you got your processes in place and everything. I mean, you're a business owner as well as a marketing specialist. You know, marketing actually, if done wrong, can actually bankrupt a business because they're not. If you go hire you and you're awesome, we can overflow you. Mm-hmm. What do you tell your clients before they actually come on and say, "Hey, Aiofe, I need to hire you to increase my marketing"? What do you do to make sure that that's exactly what they need?
Yeah, and I can give you a very live example of that when I actually started out in the beginning. There's nothing, I can't put a price in experience. But when I started out in the beginning and I ran a Facebook ad campaign, I put thousands of dollars into the ad campaign, and that ad campaign generated, I think it was about 280 leads within 30 days, right? Which was a fantastic ad campaign because I knew that it worked, but I was not set up for 280 leads in 30 days. I was the salesperson as well as the person that was running the company at that time, so that was a massive problem. That ended up, the leads were left cold, which is a big challenge, and then and that money was hemorrhaged and that money was lost. Valuable lesson learned. Now, when I look at a business comes into me and they want to talk to me about running a paid strategy, the first thing I ask them, what's your ecosystem? And then what do you mean by my ecosystem? I'm like, what automation do we have in place? If we are building out a funnel and that funnel is going into a website, if they're filling out the form, where does that form go? And like it goes to my email. I'm like, that's not what we want. We want an end-to-end flow where they're going into a CRM system, they're getting tagged with whether they're a cold lead, warm lead, where they came from, whether they booked a call, whether they didn't, and that they're going into different email workflows. And that might sound complicated, and it is to build it. That infrastructure in the beginning is difficult to build, but once you have it, then you have a machine that you can scale. And that's why I see a lot of coaches and consultants going wrong. They're running forward into the marketing, deep diving into the deep end of the ocean, but they're not set up from an infrastructure perspective to be able to support it. And all that happens then is they waste time and energy and blow their money on the marketing and then say the marketing didn't work. The marketing could work, but you're not set up because you either don't have the infrastructure, you don't have the sales team, or you don't have the follow-up.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what, you know, we've been talking in between segments and stuff as we've been out there. You know, we're building our whiteboards and whiskey, and I don't want business coaches to run whiteboards and whiskey that only do one-to-one coaching because they can only handle 10. Maybe. If they're really good, they can handle 10. I want a guy that's running groups. They can run 4 groups of 15. Now he can take 60 clients 60 clients at $2,000 a month is a pretty nice paycheck, And those are the kind of people I want. But to have an infrastructure, it takes a while. When you were building your business, how long did it take you to get past that? I just blew 380 leads into I had an infrastructure that I could actually be duplicatable.
Yeah, and then the infrastructure is always evolving as well, because and one thing I see a problem, they'll have many different systems that do many different things, and that ends up, so they go, okay, I know I need a calendar link, they get a calendar link. I know I need a qualification form. I know I need a funnel. I know I need an email system. And then what you'll find is that we have all of these periphery systems all over the place. And I think that's a rite of passage when you're building your business. We all make that mistake. But what we do and what we look at is how can we centralize that. There's very amazing platforms out there now which we have centralized, where the email, the funnels, the courses and all of that kind of stuff can be in one individual place. And I think that the evolution of where we've got to now, it's taken years having to go through all of the mistakes to get to the system that we have now. But with the advancement of technology, with the advancement of AI, and with the experience, we can implement that for our clients now in 4 or 5 weeks. What took me 5 years to learn can now be, but you cannot put a price on experience.
Well, yeah, you can, because you paid it.
Yes,
I know. I had a $100,000 mistake a few years ago. I know exactly what mistakes cost.
Yeah.
But, I look at a client. I had a client of mine. They're a Oriental rug cleaning company. And when they hired me, there was some transitional stuff going on, organization or generational transition. But they were talking about we need more clients. We need more clients. And I went in there and I walked their system. I walked the floor of the place, and I look at their operation manager and said, hey, what happens if we turn on a marketing machine that increases business 25% in the next 3 weeks? And the guy looks at me like a deer in the headlight. He's like, dude, we can't handle that. And so many business owners, we get outside of the coaches and consultants like us, go out to the people that, hey, I got to go hire staff. I got to do this. I got to get prepared. If you hire an expert like you, Eva, you're going to eventually, in a short period of time, let's say 90 to 120 days, you're going to start seeing an uptick.
Yeah.
And that uptick, when it happens, you better be prepared, because I was taught, when opportunity knocks is not the right time to prepare.
Yeah, that's so true. And that, sometimes there can be a hesitation from people to sit down and invest in marketing strategy, because they're like, this is an expense, but it's not, it's an investment. Because when you don't have a solid strategy, or what I would say, and what I work with people especially on now, is an infused AI system or an integration or an ecosystem, you are never going to get, if you're just tipping on the 100K mark, you're never going to get to the million.
Right.
And if you're at the million, you're never going to get to the 10 million unless that you're putting in the infrastructure to be able to support the business. And the bottom line is, if you knew how to put in the infrastructure, you would have put in the infrastructure. So there has to be that outreach, whether you're going out to coaches or consultants or coming to talk to someone like me who's more on the tech implementation side and the marketing strategy side. Without that vision and without that engagement and investment, your business is not going to grow, and you're not going to be able to scale it effectively.
Yeah. Well, that's where it's going out and finding the right coach and the right consultant. Coaches and consultants do two different things. Coaches, me, I don't do crap. I mean, I'm telling you, you're more of a consultant, because you're going to go in there and you're going to help. You're going to do for it. My job as a coach is to motivate, make sure you're staying on the right place, identify bottlenecks, help you solve the bottlenecks, help you move on, and then go find the right consultants to help you move your business. That's the important thing that we need to look for. We need to understand who we've got. But you look at somebody like Tiger Woods, for example. This guy's got the best golf swing in the world, but he didn't always.
Yes.
He went and he worked and he worked and he worked. So, when we bring a business owner in to see an expert like you, how will an engagement start, and how long should we really be looking at before we start seeing some tangible results?
Yeah, so the first way of the engagement always starts is a discovery call, which I'm looking at. First of all, you get to know me. Do I want to work with you, or do you want to work with me? Because that's a very important thing to establish from the beginning. Are we aligned in our values?
Yep.
Because I don't want every client. And then we take them through, and we have a 6-step process that we walk through where we take them through the phases that we're going to work with so that we can manage the expectations. Because if someone thinks in 90 days my business is going to be high performing, high profitable, everything's going to be working, it's probably not going to happen.
Nope.
So we got to manage the expectations with the business owner, with the people, coaches, with the team, so everybody is clear, and that way there aren't these miscommunications that I often see down the line because expectations weren't managed in the beginning.
Yeah, that's the important thing about what we got to do is manage expectations, because that's what it's about. Because, people, they just don't get it. They just don't. It's hard. This marketing thing and this getting the thing to work in your business is hard. So if people want to start and have that discovery call with you, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can go onto my website, www.attentiongrabbersusa.com, and there is a form there where you can fill out the form, or you can go direct and you'll get a slot on my calendar to book a discovery call with me, and I will happily learn about what you're doing, and then we can discuss whether it's something I'm interested in or whether it's something that you feel that you are a right fit, and if that is correct, then we move on to a more strategy call. So it's free to have the discovery call. You can just let me know when we make it happen.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. What I do with my clients is we have a 90-day. We start with 90 days, and at day 90, we got the opportunity to fire each other.
Yes.
I can fire you, you can fire me, no
So
harm,
important.
no foul.
Yeah.
But on day 91, if we commit, we're going.
Yeah.
We're in this, and
I
we're in
love
this
that.
for the next year.
I love that.
And that's what we got. I want commitment then. We got there, we're going to commit to grow the business. So, Aiofe, it's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed, speaking with you today and talking about this, and I hope I threw enough softballs at you.
Yeah,
I told you I was going to. I told you how to throw you some easy questions out there. So this is Michael Rager, your business guide here on Now Media TV and Biz Talk TV. We'll see more of you right after this.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
The tax and bookkeeping team is key to any successful business. At Gunderson's Bookkeeping, our passion is to help small business owners grow, be profitable, and to prosper. We specialize in supporting small to mid-sized business owners who want to hire a full-time or even a part-time bookkeeper, but just do not have the funds. In addition, we free business owners from the tedious tasks of bookkeeping and help them focus on their business operations, their growth, and profitability. Gunderson's Bookkeeping is your business solutions partner offering a broad range of services to meet the needs of our clients. A profitable business needs accurate and reliable books, so take a strong step and call us today for your personal, no-risk consultation.
Hey, this is Michael Rager, the host of Biz Talk TV with Michael Rager. Make sure you join us every day, 5 p.m. Central Time on all Now Media channels and social media platforms.
Did you know that the energy or vibration of your interior introduces you before you or anyone enters the room? So how do you want to feel or have your guests feel in your space? Hi, I'm Kat with Ta-Da by Kat, Living by Design, award-winning, triple color certified author, speaker, educator, a mother, a glamma, and fur baby mama, and I have been honored to help builders, homeowners, realtors, entrepreneurs, and other creative geniuses while being featured on House, HGTV, and more, and I'm ready to help you come up with a strategic plan that begins with determining a color palette, a design style, space planning, personalization, budget, and the application of what I call Ta-Da magical transformations. Every space, every style, every budget Whether a refresh, redesign, on-site or virtual, new construction, renovations, or just a decorator by your side, we've got you covered. Call today for a complimentary discovery call so you can be on the road from ordinary to extraordinary and living by design. Be prepared to be ta-da. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, welcome back. This is Michael Rager, your business guide. What a show today. I'm so excited. You know, we learned a lot. We learned a lot about expectations and what's going on in our business and how to do things. You know, Aiofe is always giving us some great, tools to market our business and be seen as the expert in our business. She does a great job of it. Mac and Natalia, hey, they come in and they tell us if we got conflict, what do we do? How do we solve it? And, how do we move on? And then, of course, Catryn. Catryn comes on today, and, she knocks it out of the park. We do a couple segments, hear about, the importance of setting expectations for you and the business owner, and then understanding your vision and mission for your company. And that's the things that we want to be able to do with business owners. When I go teach my clients, we teach them not to say, like I keep saying, right, this all the time and come out and sound not as professional as we need to. But as a business owner, we need to be able to stand up and be the leader of our business. That's what it's all about. And we need to understand what's going on, what's going well, what's not going well. And the only way we can do that is to understand exactly where we are now, where we're trying to go, putting together a game plan to get there, and then executing it by keeping score. Those are the most important things. But then the best thing you need to have is somebody to keep you accountable. So if you're a business owner and you don't have a coach, if you don't have a mentor, you don't have somebody else that you report to, I'm telling you right now, go get one. It's going to turn your business around. It's going to make it better. I know you're going to see it as an expense, and you're not going to like it, and you're going to complain and complain. The thing is, Tiger Woods, the best golfer in the world, has a coach. LeBron James, the best basketball player in the world, has a coach. Patrick Mahomes, the best football player in the world, quarterback right now, he took over for Tom Brady, but he has a coach. That's what it's about. And the reason we coach and we mentor and we do these things and we bring these great people on this show is to help you get better. That's what it's about, getting better. You need to get better a little bit every day, and that's what it's about. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on Biz Talk TV, Now Media Television Networks. We're going to see you next time.
This has been a Now Media Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Hello, my name is Charles Sanders, and I'm a personal injury attorney with the Roche Sanders Law Firm, based in Texas and with offices in Houston, Dallas, McAllen, and El Paso. We assist individuals throughout the entire state who have suffered harm due to the negligence of another person. With my experience as an insurance adjuster, I understand and I know exactly how to counter the strategies employed by insurance companies, and I'm bringing this knowledge to you. We handle a wide variety of situations ranging from car accidents to defamation and unsafe property conditions. We are here to provide support and legal representation at no cost to you. Call us today at 713-221-3773.
You probably already know that first impressions are never forgotten. However, did you also know the way you feel about yourself contributes to your quality of life and the opinions of others? Hi, my name is Kristen Gunderson. My mission is to help people by flipping the switch inside their body, which in turn will help them to feel better and do more. In fact, once you feel your best, you will be able to pour into others, keep your cup full, and reach every goal you have set up for yourself, whether it's personal, family, or business related. The way you feel will dictate the way you think and the way you live your life. Feeling your best is necessary to achieve your goals. You deserve to put yourself first. Let me help you flip the switch so you can feel better and do more. Let's talk. I know I can help.
Working through the legal system is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Tell me, are you looking to sell a house or buy a home? Hi, I'm Michelle Briggs, and your real estate needs are my priority. With over 2 decades worth of experience within the real estate industry, I know I can help. Whether you're selling a house and moving on to the next chapter or buying a home to create generational wealth for your family, I am the realtor for you. Call me now at 713-256-5465 and let me handle all of your real estate needs.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Stop and think. How often do you take the time to set goals? And when you set those goals, how often do you hit them? The problem is the word goal setting. We all have goals, but goals are just wishes. Goals are what we want. What we really need is called result setting. My name is Catryn Becker, and what I do is create tailor-made result plans that ensure people will hit their targets. If you are committed for real results, let's chat and see which program is right for you and your team. Goals are just what we want, but together, results are what we will achieve.
Working through the legal system is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Bienvenidos a Interior Bar Houston, el bar más vibrante de Downtown en la ciudad de Houston. En Interior, la fiesta nunca para. Nuestro DJ de clase mundial te mantendrá bailando toda la noche con la mejor música de hoy y de siempre. Además, aquí encontrarás las mejores bebidas y cócteles. En Interio, nuestro ambiente electrizante y nuestro equipo amigable te asegurarán una noche que nunca olvidarás. Te esperamos de 9:30 a 2 de la mañana. Interio, donde la diversión nunca se detiene.